要塞艦マクロス SDF-1 完全変形するスーパーリアルモデル高徳トイスのビッグマクロス
Hope you're ready, cause ROBOTECH is back.
The reconstruction of MACROSS City inside the SDF-1 continues, as MINMEI keeps busy inside her Aunt Lena's restaurant by setting it up for business. Man, is Aunt Lena like 9 feet tall, or is Uncle Max just hobbit-sized? Well, anyway, they return from spending half the day waiting to get food rations, and ask how their new house guest, Rick, is doing. Giving Rick a room at their home was the least they could do for him after rescuing MINMEI and looking out for her for nearly 2 weeks. MINMEI has begun to set up the restaurant, readying it to be open for business, surprising her aunt and uncle who remind her that food is being rationed on the ship. But MINMEI reasons the military will see the morale boost normal life will give to the citizens and be sure to help with more supplies, and she isn't wrong. Mayor Tommy Lewin and his wife see the restaurant opening up and stop to make sure MINMEI and her family aren't crazy for doing so. We see that MINMEI's positive attitude and bubbly personality are infectious, as she rightly insists that life needs to go on as normal, even inside of a battle fortress in deep space. As her first customers stop by, MINMEI happily seats them, welcoming them to the first Chinese restaurant in space, as she puts it. Word has spread about the boy and girl who were trapped together for 2 weeks deep inside the ship, and these guys ask MINMEI about it, insinuating what her and that boy might have done to pass the time. MINMEI, disgusted and embarrassed, insists that Rick Hunter was a perfect gentleman, and besides, he's just a friend. Well, Rick overhears this, and it doesn't exactly help his depression. He's already feeling displaced and morose. He's lost his plane, his home, and MINMEI's attention, it seems. Trapped on the ship, his life had completely fallen apart. Heading out for a walk, he flagrantly ignores MINMEI, who stares after him, concerned. Rick returns to the scene where his plane, his dreams, were all crushed.
Boy, what a mess.
Hey, Rick! Now, show me this junk pile.
What junk pile? Listen, buddy, this is the racer I won 8 international championships in, and you call it junk? I ought to knock your block off, Roy.
Actually, it's very nice junk. But them's the breaks, kiddo. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's take a walk, okay?
Huh?
I've never seen you so depressed in my life. What you need is exercise. Try it. You'll like it.
Roy takes Rick to some upper deck observation area to show off the aircraft carrier Prometheus, which Rick is impressed to see connected to the SDF-1. But more importantly, Roy wanted Rick to see the veritechs launching off her deck, showing Rick their powerful propulsion and abilities. The sparkle in Rick's eye as he watches them is unmistakable.
How'd you like to fly one again, huh?
Huh? What do you mean?
Join us, Rick. Join the ROBOTECH forces and quit all this moping around.
I don't want to be a fighter pilot.
Oh, you'd rather drag yourself all over the ship like a lovesick idiot.
Since Roy brought it up, Rick asks him for, advice about girls. Roy knows he's dealing with a couple of teenagers, but cheers Rick up, telling him it was actually MINMEI's idea that Roy come and talk to him. However, he tempts Rick to sign up with the Defense Force again, warning him it's only a matter of time before some guy in a uniform comes along and steals MINMEI away from him. Rick knows what Roy is doing, but can't help but appreciate his big brother's wisdom. Captain Gloval meets with Dr. Lang, ship's engineer and foremost scientist on robotechnology and anything to do with the systems of this once alien vessel, the SDF-1. In his presentation, he informs Captain Gloval of their current inability to use the ship's powerful main gun. It turns out that when the fold engines vanished out of existence, they took with them the connection of the gun to its power source. However, it seems the modular nature of the ship means they can reconfigure the entire vessel, which would bridge the gap in this connection and allow them the use of the main gun once more. The downside is, reconfiguring the ship would likely wreck most of the town they just rebuilt for the civilians inside. Captain Gloval considers the option, but no. The risk to the people would just be too great. Meanwhile, the ZENTRAEDI have been patiently observing, studying, and planning on how best to accomplish their goals of capturing Zor's battle fortress. Veritech observes battle footage from their attack on the island, as Exodore reports his analysis of the attack. It seems their enemy are Micronians, of which Exodore has found little information on, except something of an ancient ZENTRAEDI legend, warning them to stay away from any Micronian civilization. Though intriguing, Veritech disregards it as nonsense, yet errs on the side of caution, only sending a small flotilla of ships to attack the SDF-1. Rick catches up with MINMEI, who's pleased to see him in higher spirits, and invites him into her room. As he opens the window on her request, he reflects on the last time he was in this room, which was in his Battloid. He spots a piece of mail, sarcastically remarking that the ship now has a postal service? Must be a love letter, right? MINMEI laughs at his silliness and invites Rick to be nosy and look at it. He's surprised to see it's an invitation to the finals of a big singing audition that she entered called the Miss Macross competition. He congratulates her, but she confesses that it's just her own dream that's been crushed. It's actually nice to see that these two can be so supportive of each other while they're both feeling discouraged about their lives and futures. Despite their own individual anxieties and despondence, they at least always try to lift each other up. At this moment, though, Rick's heart proves the heavier, and MINMEI knows she'll have to snap him out of this slump. In the ship's radar room, the vast amount of sensors and displays read the signature of a massive D-fold in space, signaling that, finally, the ZENTRAEDI have found the SDF-1 and will soon attack. The captain orders Lisa to sound the alarm, issuing the alert to scramble. Roy and the other Veritech fighters launch, heading into the vastness of space to battle. As MINMEI and Rick explore an actual park set up in the middle of this town rebuilt in a spaceship, trying to brighten Rick's day, they hear the battle alert. MINMEI is concerned, but Rick knows Roy will just handle it.
How come you're always talking about Roy's flying? You're just as good a pilot as he is any day.
This appeal to Rick stirs something, but he continues to resist. In space, the battle has begun, and it's not going well, with the SDF-1 under heavy fire. Roy leads the combat squadrons defending it, remarking that the ZENTRAEDI are a lot better in space than they were in the atmosphere of Earth. As Veritech and Exodore observe the battle, they realize the ships they've sent to attack are within firing range of the battle fortress's main gun, but these Micronians have yet to fire it. Figuring they must be up to something, they order the attack pressed to try to force the hand of the Micronians and reveal whatever it was their ancient ZENTRAEDI legends were warning them of. Their blasts rock the SDF-1 again and again as damage reports come flooding in. Roy and the Skull Squadron are doing all they can, but even he can't see how they're going to make it out of this one.
Thundering asteroids! Another direct hit.
Captain, damage control reports that the 2nd and 5th plasma cannons have sustained heavy damage. They say it will be impossible to repair them quickly.
Number 4 engine is almost completely destroyed.
Sub-control systems report considerable damage and casualties.
That's the last straw. We're firing the main gun. We will now execute Dr. Lang's designated modular transformation.
But if we do that, it means the whole town might just... Yes, that's right.
I have no choice. We have to do it.
All systems attention. All systems attention. Commence maneuvering for firing of main gun. Transformation to initiate in 3 minutes.
They can't be doing a transformation now. They're out of their minds.
2 minutes, 30 seconds, counting. Attention all citizens. This ship will be undergoing a modular transformation in 60 seconds.
Transformation? What's that?
I don't know.
Even the distraction of this battle doesn't rouse Rick into action. MINMEI continues to poke and prod, urging Rick to go ahead and sign up to be a fighter pilot. After all, flying is his dream. Aside from not being able to see her much if he does, he's also worried about, dying in combat. She reminds him that all the soldiers that come into the restaurant seem not to worry about that, and then Rick turns to full-on pettiness, jealously accusing her of being so attracted to all those soldiers who come into the restaurant. It's a low blow for sure, and totally unwarranted, but it shows just how down in the dumps Rick really is. As their little tiff ramps up, so does the transformation sequence of the ship. The crew has a bad track record already of doing the more experimental maneuvers of this vessel, so one can't blame them for being edgy about this. Yet they proceed, engaging the transformation of the SDF-1. Rick and MINMEI's argument escalates, but the sudden changes in the ship put MINMEI in danger. Rick instantly moves to help her. The ship continues to reconfigure all around, causing massive destruction and chaos internally. On the outside, Roy observes massive portions of the ship moving around each other, while the bridge crew coordinates the operation as all sections of the ship settle into their new position.
So that's the transformation.
The ship takes on a more humanoid silhouette, becoming a mighty colossus, indomitable, invincible, and ready to push back at the ZENTRAEDI. Just as they detect another entire wave of enemy forces closing in, Captain Global gives the order to fire the main gun. Now connected once again to the reflex furnaces of the ship, the pylons charge up their powerful blast, building up energy, shooting forth an enormous wave that utterly obliterates every missile, every battle pod, every ship the ZENTRAEDI have sent to capture the SDF-1. Ritai and Exodor are alarmed. This befuddling reconfiguration of the ship seems to have made their main gun even more powerful than expected. Vanessa announces that all enemy ships have been disintegrated, but the cheers at this victory are short-lived, as Captain Global calls for a damage report, knowing this victory may have come at a great cost to the civilians on board. Indeed, the level of destruction is massive, as Rick and MINMEI look out over the city.
Well, Rick, you said you wanted to destroy the town. How do you like it?
But I didn't actually expect anything to happen.
Oh, I wonder if our restaurant was destroyed.
Rick is shaken by the attachment he has to this town, to its people, to the feelings he has as he sees them in danger. As he once again rescued MINMEI, he can't allow harm to come to her. He wants to protect her, to protect this city, the people, the ship. His path is clear. He finally feels in his heart a strong desire, a new dream, to see to the safety of the SDF-1, of MACROSS City, and of MINMEI.
MINMEI, I'm gonna do it.
Huh?
I'm gonna join the Defense Forces.
Oh, Rick.
You're right. It's no good my moping around. I'm gonna enlist.
MINMEI is elated to see Rick finally snap out of it, to transform his life, much like this ship has transformed, and find his new purpose and new dream. Roy and the other fighters, having cleared away the remaining ZENTRAEDI, head back to the SDF-1 as it stands like a gleaming sentinel amongst the stars.